In today's competitive landscape, consistent brand visibility is the key to establishing yourself as a thought leader in your industry. By leveraging our comprehensive media platforms, podcasts, magazines, press releases, TV, and radio, you can position your brand as the go to authority that customers trust. Our cross platform strategy amplifies your messages across various formats audio, print, and video, reaching diverse audiences and maximizing your brand's impact. Whether it's a feature in a top magazine, a guest appearance on our podcast, or a TV interview that captivates your audience, we ensure that your brand becomes a household name. This multi-channel approach not only increases credibility but also deepens customer engagement, building that long-lasting trust and driving your business forward. Take the next step towards becoming the leading voice in your industry with us as your visibility partner. Ready for your bold messages to be amplified? Partner and be a sponsor at Level Up Academy by Doc Leland. We have a limited VIP sponsorship available. Email us at lualevelupbydocleland.com. Subject: VIP sponsors. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Circle TV. Today's so exciting because Susanna and I are you guys ready? We're gonna have our very first giveaway tonight. So hopefully we'll have enough people to come and win for the free chapter. Remember the rules, guys. Rules of engagement. I know people always complain like, oh my God, CJ and Susanna have a contract. Don't have a contract with us. So come join our anthology. Be careful. Please be careful. Reason being is that the contract actually is there to protect both parties, but ultimately you as the writer is protected because if you don't have a contract and your publisher didn't give you permission to take your chapter away, it's just a verbal communication. And let's say that you want to write and then you want to extrapolate that chapter that you wrote in an amazing international business conversation or maybe another anthology that you guys have, and you take it and you run with it and you print it and you get sued. And the reason being is that you do not have a contract that has an express intent saying, hey, you can take your own copyrighted materials, right? So guess what? For those of you who writes an anthology without a contract, please be careful because you cannot more likely extrapolate it without permission. And yes, I know contracts can be verbal, but guess what? Proof of burden is on you, okay, when someone's trying to sue you to show that there was an agreement. How are you going to do that when it's a verbal contract? You can't. So please protect yourself. So for our anthology, it's going to be what? Against the Grain, Finding Belonging in a World of Resistance. And this is actually our author's call. The project owner or the project manager on this one is Susanna Dodd, my dear sister, my bestie. And we are moving to close this year at 4 anthologies. That doesn't mean we don't have a book lurking around at the same time, because we might. Also, tomorrow is the first time that I am putting in a free class for our Mike to Millions book journal and also for the podcast circuit. And you're probably wondering, why do I need a podcast? For a lot of reasons, but mainly as an authority for your own brand. Start with branding your messages, right? When you brand your messages, you are the authority. So join our podcast circuit. This is the QR code to join. I'm going to keep it there for a little bit just so you can see what's happening, right? And then we will see you tomorrow. There is no there is no recording, and it's a hands-on experience, meaning you get to really walk through the thought process of starting your own podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for all of you guys. I cannot even wait. All right, so this is our author's call and our magazine. Wah, wah, wah. It already came out, guys. It already came out. So I'm gonna push it in Level Up Circle, levelupwithdoc.com under the magazine, and so you can see the amazing people highlighted on that magazine. I'm actually looking for 10. This is only 10. I only always do 10 for manifestation. So let's see how amazing you are. It's gonna be an accountability magazine, literally. I'm looking for the top 10 2025, okay, business leader for from LinkedIn. So we'll see how and who is going to be on the next magazine feature for issue number 4. So Santa is going to come up soon, and here is our in-person activity with Sandra Gonzalez and Dr. Dreyer. This one actually is we have a lot. I'm actually gonna have a giveaway for my book on this one, so you're actually going to see it. And this book is gonna probably be either Mike to Millions or Rebel with a Cause, but it is on October 19th. And if you want a discounted code, I have simple freebies. If you're in SoCal, I have some freebie that I can give you a free ticket to get in as well. But if you are wanting to come support Sandra, myself, and Dr. Dreyer, it is that QR code right there. Scan that QR code and go ahead and join us, and it will be amazing. We'll have a photo ops, and we will have lots of videos so we can post it on our social media as well. So, what else is there, CJ? What is happening around town? Well, we're going to talk a lot about leadership, right? But I'm going to leave this right here because this is our most recent Rebel with a Cost book. Okay. And the proceeds on this one, actually, I seen somebody also like copy my my ways of doing things. They're doing anthologies and they're also giving money away for certain causes. Good for you. I'm glad that I'm inspiring you to actually do it. But tonight we're going to talk about how important is belonging. But you know, first of all, I'm talking and speaking to you as an individual, but also to you as a business owner. Okay. And often talk about there's a difference between disagreement and disrespect, right? The conversations. And I was looking at Mel Robbins today, and she basically had somebody, I don't remember who the person was. It's like, hey, how do you respond to disrespect? How do you respond? And the gentleman literally say, well, most of the time when you respond to disrespect, it's that you're both going to disrespect each other. He said, most people who wants to disrespect you because they want to get something out of you. They want to rile you up, right? And most people are innate human nature is to respond to that disrespectful conversation. And he said, you know, make that very long pregnant pause when someone really disrespects you in that conversation. He said a good 30 to 60 seconds is going to feel like an hour to somebody who's mad. Do you hear that? Nothing, right? That's uncomfortable, isn't it? And that was only 10 seconds, right? Imagine if you have nothing, no noise, and you're angry at someone and you're like disrespecting the conversation and you're cursing left and right, and the person in front of you just do this. Nothing, no response, nothing, right? And then after that, the response is usually we're like, okay, this is my response to you. I do not want to engage and go below on this conversation. I am better than this, and I'm not responding to your disrespect. If you want to be professional, then we can move on the conversation. If not, there's nothing to talk about. Thank you for your time today. And boom, walk away or hang up, however you want to do it. And to me, that's powerful, right? As a leader, as a person, to not disrespect. Now, belonging is kind of funny thing lately. I've seen people when they want to be surrounded by you, but they don't want to do the work with you. They just want to hang out around town, hang around with you so you can get that clout. But when you don't give them the time of the day, they kind of run to your enemy. And it's okay because I see the personalities that comes out, and they all gather together to plot or do something else. And to me, it doesn't matter. If you're a strong leader, you don't need to surround yourself with negativity and sharks. You need to surround yourself with people who cares. You don't need 10, 15 people to surround yourself to be strong. You need one person to believe in you. That's it, right? And if you have one more than one person, you are lucky. You are lucky. So count your blessings when that happens. So that is my topic when it comes to disrespectful and also disagreement type of conversation as a leader, right? That's my short lecture. But I'm gonna go ahead and put my little intro before I bring into Sana. I wanted to just test that intro that I just created, but this is definitely my new intro all the time. So all right. Are you ready, sister? Are you just ready right now? Yes, 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 yes. Here she is. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh,
It's been a busy day.
yeah, it's been a busy day. I'm always taking notes, doing my calendar. Um, I had about 11 complaints today on a DM about my calendar. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, my calendar is not open until March. It's not that it's not open till March, it's booked all the way till March. Um, I'm going to give you a tip. This is a free tip. So, most of you probably know Calendly, right? You know Calendly, and most people use Calendly. The problem is that it's a monthly subscription, right? And if you're not using Calendly all the time, you're actually losing money. So I found this thing called TidyCal. It's $30, and I'm not getting affiliate links, obviously, so I'm just telling it to you, tidycal.com, or yes. And so it's like 30 bucks for the lifetime of it. Like, why would you pay monthly? Even if it's 2.99 a month, that 2.99 a month is going to be more than that, right? Here's the thing that I want you guys to learn if you're a business owner. Your time is precious. Respect yourself. Everybody wants your time. Everybody wants a coffee chat. Everybody wants to do this. And I love doing coffee chats. But I give you 15 minutes. In fact, 5 minutes is more than enough, but 15 minutes is really kind of get to know. When you are on somebody's calendar, that means you're curious enough to get to know that person. You should do your due diligence to Google them on what they're all about, because now you're wasting your time and their time if you're not really aligned, right? So for me, I expect that if you're in my calendar, right, that you already know a little bit of what I do, and you're basically wanting to see how we can collaborate, which I'm very big in collaboration. When you go into my calendar, your expectation is for me to talk about myself. It's not happening. You're in my 15 minutes, I want to get to know you, because I want to decide if I want to collaborate with you. And you should also decide if you want to collaborate with me within that 15 minutes, because that's really like where the energy, and I see if you're pitch slapping, if what your intentions are. I can see it from that first 15 minutes. And then we may be moving on to the next hour at a later time. Here's another thing within your coffee chats, to get to know your people, to get your funnel system, to get your clients in, make sure you only have that one calendar for free. The rest of your calendar is either for your paying clients or your clients to be. So if you want to be on my paid client list, I do have a calendar that you would have to have a non-refundable $100 to talk to me, right? The reason being is that that is a strategy call. Most of my services usually starts from 500 bucks and on. So if you're on my calendar for 100 bucks, I know you're serious about getting your money's worth, right? And that means that I get into a gear of structuring whatever that you need, because I'm very good at structuring, whether it's social media or your mentorship or whatever that you need for your business. And that's what I do. So if you respect your time as a business owner, set up a different day calendar that has money involved, right? Because you value your time, they should value your time too. But you also have coffee chats. Make it 15 minutes. Here's the conversation structure for me. First time is rules of engagement. When you're in my room, I will literally say, hey, we only have 15 minutes that I can give you. And then after that 15 minutes, we can reschedule another time. But within this 15 minutes, I want to get to know you. And I have two questions. And then I'll leave you one question for whatever you want to ask me. And that's it. That's literally just the initial conversation to see if the vibe and the energy is there. That's how I usually do it. And that's the reason why it's all the way to March. So that's my explanation. If you cancel, I had two people cancel last week and then now they're complaining, like, I can't get back to March. If you cancel, yes, you're going to wait 3 to 4 months. Just saying. So if you have a meeting with me tomorrow, don't cancel because then you're going to have to wait till April. I'm just saying. Sister, I'm done talking right now and explaining how business owners should respect their time. Let's talk about belonging. Um, why is it important for people to, and I see that right now that the people who we kind of stay away from, right, we kind of stay away from people, it's our choice. And the reason being is that I think I'm in this point, and Tyrell was right, like if you're not 100 with me, then why am I with you?
Right.
And I think that's my new rule. If you're not with me at 100, I'm not with you either. It's not, there's no point of having 20%. We have some people where we're not a priority, we're an alternative. And so why are you in here? Just go 100% to where you're happy. It's a choice, right? um what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, yeah, you've got to be in a space where you feel safe and you feel you feel wanted. And so taking that, it's like if you're willing to give 100 but somebody else isn't, how do you feel wanted? How can you feel like you belong in that room if you aren't even at the same level?
How are you feeling about Against the Grain new anthology? What are some of the thoughts that goes through your head in terms of what you will write?
What I will write. Oh,
Hi, Noni.
I've been writing so much right now, just on and around belonging. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to focus it? It's going to have a business aspect to it, but do I want to take it as belonging in the workplace and what that would be like? Um, then I mean, I could easily talk about belonging in family because so many of us, we have a family, but we don't feel that we belong. I mean, if you want to talk your percentages, like you're getting from them not much, and sometimes it feels like it's negative. Um, so why do you want to? Why do you want to put energy into it if anything that you're putting in is just gonna get trashed? Then there's social media because so many people are trying to and I'll talk fit in as well because so many people, that's what they do. They just want to fit in. They do whatever they have to contort themselves to fit whatever box this group they want to fit in with, what they have to do to be accepted. So how do they have to change themselves? How are they not being their authentic self so that they can fit in with who they think they want to fit in, and yet they know at their gut that it's not the right place. And then there's the you're stuck someplace, how do you break free from that because you were trying to fit in, break free from it, resist, basically resist the world that's trying to get you to conform, resist the group that's trying to get you to conform, and turn around and walk away from that. And it may be quick, it may be long, but you go find where you belong. Because deep down we know what we're looking for. We know what's going to help us to feel like we belong. And you got to remember, when you're in a space of belonging, at the very core space, there aren't going to be many people, because these are the people that you know you can say anything to and you will not be judged. When you're trying to fit in, you can't say anything. You have to wear that mask. So it's like,
So what's your topic? Is it going to be, you think, about family? Or see, I'm struggling with that too. Noni, it's actually at, did I say 8 a.m., right? I think I said 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah, so it's only for 15 minutes. I already actually created it like 3 weeks ago. It's really exciting. It's a hands-on experience on podcasting. I want you guys to really dig deep in the very beginning on why podcasting, right? But I have, it's going to be a networking slash the class itself or the workshop itself is really 15 minutes to kind of give you a taste of what the podcast circuit is all about and what the membership is all about. Is not one of these like videos that you will have. It is hands on in class. Like that's what we do every single month. For the freebies is 15 minutes. The paid ones, you guys actually already have it at Level Up with Doc, so you can read what the paid ones looks like. But the paid ones is eventually you would be here on my TV, but I won't be here. You will be the host, and you'll have somebody else that you want to invite in, and I will run the back. So that would be graduation for you, meaning you're ready to kind of take on, and possibly I'm going to work with the CEO of my TV network. Um, Maybe if you want to go in and you can afford it on a monthly basis, you can have your own independent TV show. So that would be exciting, right? So that's what I will do for you, because we all need visibility, and you can actually use that. Because right now, people are like on StreamYard, on Live, LinkedIn, and blah, 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 blah. So you need to be pretty much everywhere. That's, people always say, oh, quantity is not good, having too many followers, but then there's no engagement, it's not good. Actually, people who are in business will always look at your numbers. I got more freebies actually as soon as I grew my social media. I'm getting a lot of freebies like offer because of my social media, right? So the people who are not there, of course, they're going to say that because they haven't experienced it. It's okay, but what I'm trying to do is get you to that level if you're willing. And if you, and again, it's a priority. It's a matter of priority, right? When people's like, oh, I can't do this or I can't make it, I don't force people, because that means you're not ready. It's just, to me, it's like you either you do it or you don't. And everything in between is just an excuse. And I'm not ready to take on that. And priority is priority. So if that is not a priority for you, branding and having an authority in your space in the right way is not your priority, then it's not a priority, right? And so, because our job is to amplify messages, and it's only ready for people who are ready. And what is happening is like a lot of people are bonding together in a, it's like a, I don't know how to explain it, sister. It's like they're all this negative energy, but then it becomes positive for all the negative people until it blows up. And I've seen it already. You've seen it already,
I've
doesn't
seen
it?
it.
And I was like, oh my God, the drama on that side is craziness. It's because it's a bond of like negative and negative and negative, and it's gonna blow. It's like this. It's just constantly just, crunching. It's gonna blow up, right? But I think some of us are glutton for pain, so that's what happens.
I mean, it's like a battery. You can't take two negative and push them together, but that's what it is. That you've got all these people trying to push that negative end of the battery that they have together, and it's like they got them in the same sphere, but it's going to blow up in their face at some point.
See, here's my question too. If you're watching this as a team replay, if someone already once talk crap about you, Why do you want to go back to that group? Are you that weak of a person to take people's abuse just so you can belong to a group that you think would accept you for who you are? I'm so confused.
It's all part of belonging. You just hit it right there.
Yeah, but I'm still
But
confused. Like,
they're
why do you
not
want to belong
belonging
to something negative when you know it's negative? You're complaining to me about negativity, but yet you're in the negativity zone. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? I don't understand.
because they're trying to fit in.
Fit
Half
in
the
for
time,
what?
well, for whatever reason, they must think that's the place they want to be, or they were offered something that they're willing to give up who they are authentically to try and fit into a group because they think they're going to get something out of it. But if they've
It's
got people,
heartache.
if people are like chewing them out or yelling at them or talking bad about them and they go away, you're right. Why would you go back to it? I mean, do you just not know how to find the right place to belong, that you have to keep trying to fit in, and it's like hitting your head on with a hammer to try and fit in?
Okay, Matt. This is actually Matt was saying. What did Matt say? Hold on, dude. He said something about belonging. I don't remember now. It was somewhere in there. He was talking about like self-reflection is self-awareness. um Kinda self-reflection and self-awareness are both very powerful practices, right, that play a key role in personal growth and emotional intelligence and successful leadership, right? But understanding that self reflection, by definition, is literally being introspective, meaning you're examining your own thought process, your own emotions, your own actions, and motivations, like what motivate you. But here's my question: if you are hurting mentally, emotionally, physically, you're vomiting, you're having migraines more, like emotionally doing that, and it's draining for you because of one particular person, why the F would you continue that relationship? Do not make excuses for people's behavior. If they threaten you, literally threaten you, I'm gonna unalive myself if you're not gonna be friends with me, call 911, because that's a threat on them and you don't want to be responsible for that. So you tell them, you know what? If you continue in this conversation, I'm going to call 911. And they're like, well, I'm not going to tell you my address. It's okay. You have their phone number, give it to the 911 people. They can trace that phone number. There's a lot of cell towers they can ping. They'll trace that person. Okay. That is something that I would want you to practice. That is abuse. And you're continuing the abuse by being part of that abusive cycle. You need to have self respect. If you don't want something like that, move away and then move on, right? What is the purpose of that self reflection? Really is about learning from the past actions and understanding how they influence your present and your future. So, if in the past you've been abused with other people and then in the present you've been abused with other people, stop making friends for a minute. Stop. Whether they're good or bad or indifferent, stop. Commit to yourself to make a different action so you have a different outcome. I had to do that myself too. I had to self reflect. I'm like, why am I attracting craziness? Why am I attracting people who are users, who are abusers, and I'm letting it? Because I needed love. I needed acceptance. But once I had my own self and I got my own back, I didn't need them anymore. Of course, you need people here and there, but at the end of the day, you need to be happy with yourself. Stop being glutton for pain. For sure. And in terms of self awareness, this is more about conscious knowledge of your own personality, your own emotions, your own values, what you desire, the impact of your behavior on others. That is self awareness. And the people who actually are talking about being mindful and being self aware are the most self unaware people I've met. Holy moly. Sister, talk to me about that.
They are. I mean, self-awareness. When I talk awareness and moving beyond the box, it's that you know where you're stuck. You know what's going on. So when you're doing that self-reflection, you know what's happening, whether it's from the past, whether it's in the present. But then you get some of these, you get some people who they just they let it go over their head. They talk about being aware. They talk about the importance. It's almost like they read the book, they memorized the book, and they can speak the book, but there's still a disconnect between the knowledge and
The action.
situation, the actions.
Sister, sorry to interrupt. 7:30 already. So we're gonna start the clock all the way to 52. Give them the hashtag, sister. What do they need to do to get the freebie tonight?
Tonight's freebie is
Remember
hashtag against the grain.
Guys, against the grain hashtag. So go ahead
All one
and
word.
all one word. She is always so busy. Kinga, sister, I'm always having time for you. You know this. You know this. Always. Mike is like promoting the redneck financial coach over here. I'm starting to do that too. Yeah, exactly. Right. If you're not a 100 for me, I don't want to be with you. Bye.
Mhm.
Um, Wait, I will always accept non-expired McDonald's coupon. Me too. Me too. I love coupons, let me tell you. What are you laughing, Matt? Okay, so what are some of the things? Okay, first of all, I was thinking that I would write about so on the Rebel with a Cause, I wrote about friendship,
Right.
right? And then my moving beyond boxes, um well, the first one was ADHD, and then moving beyond boxes was kind of family, kind of not, then friendship, and then now I think going against the grain, I might be talking about leadership,
Mhm.
um, in terms of like being a leader. And when you're innovative and you're creative, and the culture of the organization you work for is not ready for you, it's a very difficult place to be happy. Very difficult because you don't feel like you belong. You belong in a way because you are teaching and you're in an institution that you love and you're passionate about. But if the institution that you're working with is very rigid and they don't allow autonomy for creativity as a teacher, um, frustrating as frick. That's what I'm just gonna say. So I might be talking about leadership and also, um, in terms of like going against the grain of institutions and educational institutions to do better, right? To ask better, to do better, and by actions, by not by talking.
Right.
What's your topic, sister?
Well, okay, so rebel, I talked belonging in rebel, and I talked that in terms of being in that safe space to remove the mask. Because here's the thing, sometimes for me, it really comes down to what is going on in my life at that moment, or what that topic's going to really end up being. Because I was not expecting that to be the topic, except for what happened before we ever started writing, and how that affected me. That put me right into that particular conversation. This time, this time I'm kind of feeling that fitting in piece. That's really kind of been a lot of what I've felt, a lot of what I've talked about, the difference between fitting in and belonging. And that if you're just fitting in, are you even are you even nurturing your soul? Are you being anywhere near authentic to who your creator made you to be? To me, when you're being authentic, A space of belonging means you can be authentic. You can be who you were created to be, not worrying about judgment, not worrying about what people are going to say. And you're going to have the strength if somebody walks up to you and says, I heard this about you. Maybe you have, maybe you're neurodiverse. Maybe you've got some family problems. Maybe a lot of different things. I should put my cowboy hat on, shouldn't I?
No, because Mike says that he wants it, so I'm actually like teasing him with it.
Of course.
Hey, for real though, I want to address this. I think Matt was not in the classroom when I was talking about this. Where the heck did it go? I hate it when I can't find crap. Here. It is Mastering the Art of Balance is my next project. It's Life is not easy. Okay, I'm going to address this. And Susanna will probably know what it is. Okay. How do you define balance? Balance means this, right? The same energy, the same gravity. I'm in the middle, right? That's balance. 50% of the energy is here, 50% of the energy is here. It's balance. Okay? Now, if I hold it right here, is that balance? That's what you're trying to do every day when you say, I'm balancing my life. It's not possible.
Yep.
What the heck are you supposed to do? It's called harmony. You do with the best the way you know how. Not balance. Let me explain. You wake up in the morning to go to work. If you have a job, that's what you do. You go to work. So 8 to 5 full time, right? 8 to 5 right here. You have 24 hours. You have to sleep. You have to take time with your family. By the time you go home, you don't want to do nothing but just do something with your family, right? And sometimes you have to cook. Sometimes you don't have to cook. However you want to do it. So this is 8 hours. This is family time. And then you have sleeping time right here. So literally your balance is mostly at work. How are you going to balance life? We're setting up ourselves for failure when we keep those words in our subconscious level and putting pressure on ourselves that I want everything in my life balanced. No such thing. It's called harmony, right? Go with the flow. You see that yin and yang, there's black and white, right? But they're always like an infinity. Why do you think that's an infinity in the Chinese culture? Because it's ebbs and flow, just like life. There is up and there is down. What comes up must go down, right? And here's the thing with leadership that I was talking about this morning. When you want to level up, why are you looking for people on the same playing field as you? You all are the same race. You want to win. You want to win. How do you win? You look for people who are already in front of you so they can pull you on their level. You don't want to go look for the people behind you and look down upon them either, right? Because you're supposed to mentor them. But if you want to level up yourself, you need to look forward to the people who are actually in alignment with what you want. The problem is we don't know what we want half of the time. So you're all over the place. I'm in this group, I'm in that group, I'm in this group, I'm in that group. It's exhausting. And you're like, I want balance. Really? Most of the time you're scrolling in social media. Is your life really balanced? Do you really walk more than you sit down? Do you really sleep more than you're awake? Do you actually take a break more than you work? Because that's balance. No such thing. Just saying, Matt. Keep those hashtags coming against the grain. YouTube 1083 are here. Thank you so much, YouTube. We appreciate you. Let's continue the conversation. Ask us questions, guys, of the topics. I would want to know if you were to write in this anthology. Mike, I think, is writing with us, right? What would be your topic, Mike? Since you're saying you're writing an anthology with us, hopefully, I know Kinga's busy right now, but if she could write, what would your topic be? I would love to know, guys. What is the best topic that you can think about when it comes to doing against the grain? So, I don't know. There's so many topics. I mean, I talked about it last week about, all the different topics that you can write about. But right now, like now I'm actually trying to think like I want to write ahead. My brain is like non-functioning. What about yours?
I, my brain has a whole lot going on it because this topic has really been at the top of my thoughts between just the belonging and actually putting together a program for belonging in the workplace and talking with an organization about positions that they've got, and just finding that way, trying to get it out there for people to understand that right now it really is a mental health thing, because when we go into the workplace, if we don't feel like we belong, we're walking in with a mask on. And if we're walking in with a mask on, hiding something behind it, some part of us, neurodiversity, being an immigrant, having a non-regional accent, keep the list going because it's like it's almost an endless list. When you've got that mask on and you are hiding something, you have to expend your energy in order to keep that mask in place and to make sure that there's no cracks in it, which means you don't get to engage with people at a level that if you belonged, you'd be able to go deeper than just superficial. If you belonged, you wouldn't worry if somebody found out what you're hiding behind the mask because it's a safe space, and people can hold their judgment at that point. We each are created differently. We each have different strengths, different weaknesses. And the thing is, if we didn't have to wear a mask, if we could be our authentic selves, then we can put those strengths to use in many ways that we can't when we're hiding ourselves, when we're afraid to speak up because it might create a hole in our mask and somebody will see what we're hiding. Because the only way we could come up with this great idea that is actually what the company needs is to risk talking
Everything.
about, yeah, it's
Yeah.
to risk letting them see behind the mask.
Yeah, we're so afraid. I have a good idea. People hashtag. Number one is like it just gave me an idea when Matt was talking about balancing, right? So for me, there's no such thing. It's the benefits of embracing failure. Think about that chapter, guys. The benefits of embracing failure. CJ, are you nuts? Right? Why perfectionism holds you back? Think about it. The challenge really that we have is the societal obsession with success and perfection. Like, explore how failure leads to growth, to innovation, and to resilience, right? Success is not because you're pretty or you have, you're smart, you have social intelligence or anything. It's literally Harvard Business Review already write about this, and there's a TED talk about this with millions of people agreeing that success is not about any of those things that I mentioned. Okay, success is literally about what? Grit, grit, perseverance and consistency on believing what you have. And some days you just don't want to get up. Some days you do, but having that consistency gets you to lead to that what? Failure after failure after failure after failure. Really? Is that a failure or is it a redirection? Rejection is not no, it means redirection. Now imagine writing that chapter. I'm thinking about that. The benefits of embracing failure, why
Mm-hmm.
perfectionism holds you back. The other one that I want to look at is choosing solitude over social connection. The power of being alone in a hyper connected world. I know some of you have done this, right? You choose being alone over social connection. Discuss the value of solitude, self reflection, introspective in the world where priorities are always constant social interaction and networking, right? But choosing that solitude over social connection, think about that power of just being alone in this world of connection because we feel alone. The third one I wanted to explore was multitasking is overrated. And you know who multitasks a lot. The case for the single tasking in a distracted world. I've been thinking about that because, like, yes, I multitask. Yes, I can finish projects. But if you really go to the core, I do one project at a time. I just do multiple projects at a time. So, like in an hour, most people will focus on one. In an hour, I'm doing grading, I'm watching Netflix, I'm doing Canva, I'm doing Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, all at the same time. Am I 100% in that space? Heck no, I didn't even know how to turn on TikTok or turn it off, right? And I was going live. My point, right? So, I wanted to write this because I'm living in it. Like, why multitasking is overrated. And I multitask, right? The case for single tasking in a distracted world. I want to argue against the modern emphasis on multitasking. Like, I have ADHD, I can't help myself. Showing how deep focus and single tasking lead to a greater productivity and creativity. So, how do I do that? Because I still do that even though I'm multitasking. If I'm really into a big project, I do Pomodoro, right? 25 minutes off, 25 minutes, 5 minutes off, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And a lot of people can't do it. Guess what? It took me a long time too. It's a habit, right? Number four is redefining success, why happiness should be measured by fulfillment and not by financial gain. Often in a world that we live in today, it's like you have to be super rich for people to come to you, but that's superficial. They only want to come to you because they want to be in your coattails. And I've seen a lot of you guys, right? And I'm distancing myself because I don't see you at 100% on my corner. And so I'm going to be blocking or on being away for a lot of people soon. It's because I'm in this new 2025 realm where I value quality of friendships over resources, and time suck. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, Sister, what about you?
Which part of that? And actually, your comment about the perfectionism is is a really good one because I see that I can see that in stuff that I do. We're trained, we're told that don't put anything out there unless it's perfect, unless it's tight and it's ready to go because people will judge you. People will look down on you because it's not done yet. It's not perfect. It's not, but then quite frankly, it will never be perfect. And that's part of the problem with perfection is it can't happen. It doesn't exist. There was only one perfect person in the whole world, and that was over 2,000 years ago. So to sit here and say everything has to be perfect for those who that's what and they think they're perfect and they think they've got it, let them run with it. For the rest of us, don't let it rule your life because you end up spending more time on something than if you just hit the points, get it out there, and you can work on it over time. You can do it, build it up. It's like a website. You're always changing the website. So I like that one. That one resonates with me on a
Ooh, you might be writing that one.
I'm not going
So
to say that because
Matt,
it's like that fitting in piece is still,
getting
still
into you, yeah. So Matt, now Homer, and Mike wants my pink cat. Ooh, I'm gonna put it in auction.
well. Okay, you did see my you or no, you did
Yeah,
see hounds hashtag, right?
yeah. That's funny. Uh, yeah. Okay, bro. Let's see who's gonna be hurting more. I'm stubborn like a bulldog. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Um,
you are.
right. So I also like there's another one I was thinking actually just now, like in a praise of slow living.
Hmm.
Like why slowing down can actually lead to a more meaningful life, right? When you write about benefits of rejecting the fast-paced hustle and bustle culture and how slowing down leads to a better mental health and a deeper relationships. That's why when people complain about my calendar, I just laugh because I have my own strategy. I have my own madness. Why do I want to do back to back to back to back to back to back to back? Who's benefiting that? it doesn't benefit me. It drains me. And I have so many things to do. So guess what? 15 minutes is your max once a week. That's it. That's my free coffee chat and that's it. Right? Because I have other coffee chats throughout the week. But that freebie that I have for that 15 minutes on the rest of the world is my sanity check. So I love that praise of slowing living. Another one is why pursuit of balance is a myth. Embracing life's imbalance for greater fulfillment. Right? Challenge that idea. Life is not balancing. And then number seven for me is about like the value of saying no. How setting boundaries, we're talking about this conversation, creates freedom, right?
Yep.
Exploring how against the grain by saying, hey, I'm going to go do this commitment, I'm going to do that commitment. There's too many commitments, responsibility, and even opportunities can sometimes lead to a greater personal freedom and well being, right? Make your time count, guys. And then unlearning the traditional education system while lifelong learning outside of the classroom is the key to success because you're living it. I actually want to do both. I challenge all of you that you can do both. I know sometimes people are like, school is not for me. I can't sit still. I can't do this because you already put it in your brain that you can't, right? And people are like, oh, English is my second language. I've heard that before too. English is my seventh. I even thought dummy was cute. That's how bad I was with English. Okay. um, it's not an excuse, guys. There is no excuse. You're full of excuses because you don't want to change. You don't want to take accountability that there is a possibility of change because change is very uncomfortable. The unknown is really uncomfortable and it's scary. Scary. Like you don't know what's going to happen. But once you take that leap, once you level yourself up slowly, right? Like a game, video game, level one, level two, level three, it gets better. It gets better. Except we don't respawn when we die in real life. So just slow down your roll, okay? Before we end this, sister, what is your take on people? I don't see that much hashtag, so we're gonna pick somebody else tonight because I didn't see that much hashtag on Against the Grain. But to end this, what are we looking forward for next week in terms of what's happening?
There's so much happening. It's like I need a little bit more parameter on that question.
Mike's like, you skipped my hashtag. No, I didn't. I showed it. See? He's like, boycott Lua until Mike gets his hat. No, 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 never, never.
He doesn't want to play that game. He ought to
You're
know
gonna
better.
lose. You're gonna lose, bro. Okay, so tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. PST, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m. EST, I will have a Zoom to basically come in. It's not live stream, so it's Zoom. So if you want to learn how to do podcasting, it's free workshop. It's 15 minutes. And then you can go if you'd like, if you have a meeting or whatever. But actually that workshop is gonna probably hit an hour because I want to get to know you and your thoughts, but I want to get that 15 minutes of hands-on experience first of all, okay?
Right.
Then we have, I don't even know. I was looking at my calendar on who's doing what this week, but I
Well,
don't.
you're going to be on with me on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm actually going to provide like a starting write up or structure on if you're going to write against the grain, what are some of the things that you can actually start writing about? Because I think a lot of people can't, they might not be able to relate. Like, I want to do it, but I don't know what to write. So I want to give you ideas on what to write. So this week so I'm going to put Susanna in here at 9 a.m., right, sister?
9 a.m.
Okay. And then I'm going to have John Kessler. And then on TV on Tuesday, I'm going to have the Rebel People.
on
The
Thursday.
Rebel People. The Rebel book authors, co authors come in this Thursday. So, and then, of course, Mike comes in on Wednesday, right, at 4 p.m. PST. And
Yep.
yes, PST runs the world, not EST. Sorry, we're West Coast people.
Okay.
We'll love you, bro. We will see you on Tuesday. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, YouTube. Staying at 1078. We appreciate you so much. Bye.